right, so let's go into Genesis 3 is where it all falls down. It all goes plummeting. Um, I have a bone to pick with Eve. Why did you do that? But you know what? I don't think it's going to matter anymore once you die and you go to heaven. Like, I think all the questions will be answered. You're going to be all knowing, and you're just going to be like worshiping God and praising God for the rest of your life. I mean, not only does he deserve all of this praise and glory and worship, I want to spend my eternity doing it because of the awesomeness. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard what the Lord God has prepared for you. I haven't got to that point where, you know, we see the beauty right now around us, and we know that it was created by God. Well, I know. Hopefully you do too. We all know it's created by God, and we see the beauty, and I just can't help but be in wonderment and just in awe about how he just created the beauty, and the beauty in everything, the beauty in people, the beauty in the ocean, the sky, the mountains, all the way to the little ant that you see. You know, how he created all that is just mind-boggling to me. The serpent, this is when man and woman sin. The serpent was the shrewdest of all the wild animals the Lord God had made. One day he asked the woman, "Did God really say you must not eat the fruit from any of the trees in the garden?" "Of course we may eat the fruit from the trees in the garden," the woman replied. "It's only the fruit from the tree in the middle of the garden that we're not allowed to eat. God said, 'You must not eat it or even touch it. If you do, you will die.'" "You will die," the serpent replied to the woman. "God knows that your eyes will be open as soon as you eat it, and you will be like God, both knowing good and evil." That's what the whole premise is. You're not going to die. That's just what he says. He just doesn't want you to know what good against evil. He wants you to just stay good forever. Just till the land. That's all you're here for. There's nothing special about you. You know, if you till the land, then you get all the perks and everything. But you know what? There's something about knowing about good and evil. Don't you know that? Don't you know that? But you're never gonna know because you're not gonna eat of the fruit. But you know, he's not gonna kill you. Come on. Just come on. That's just ridiculous. The woman was convinced. Eve, come on now. Did they even say her name yet? No, not yet. You won't die. So the woman was convinced. She saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruits looked delicious, and she wanted the wisdom that it would give her. Wow. You're just not happy anymore because it's boring now, you know? All you do is till the land and whatever. Eat that. Oh, you ate that already. Oh, you ate that already. But why is God not letting you eat that fruit? It must be so good, man. Come on now. So she took some, not just one, some of the fruit and ate it. And then she gave some to her husband. Oh my gosh, it's not just one apple. Mind blown again. I thought it was one apple. No, she took some. Like some. And then, here, Adam, eat some of that. At the moment, their eyes were open and suddenly they felt shame in their nakedness. See, when they were walking around naked, there was no, malice or anything like that. Oh, look at the boobs. Look at that. Nothing like that. It was like, oh, you're beautiful. It was so pure. Everything was great, very pure. I'm looking at you as a whole. I'm looking at your heart. I'm looking at your mind. I'm not looking at your body because it's just a body. Now they're ashamed because they're naked. Oh my gosh, I have to cover up. Let me go get some leaves, fig leaves, and cover it. So they sewed the leaves together to cover themselves. And we're all covered up right now. And by the way, the book of Enoch, I don't know why it's not in the Bible, okay? For some reason, whoever put this Bible together removed it. I know it was ordained by God. Maybe God didn't want it in here because it was too much. But I read a little bit of the book of Enoch. It's so hard to understand. But there's parts of the book of Enoch where they're talking about how, they go more into like the shame of Adam and and Eve when they realized that they were naked. And part of it was, now they have to go poop. And when Adam took his first poop, he was horrified. He was like, ah, like screaming, like in terror. It's like now he has like the physical yuckiness because of what he did, all right, of what they did. So when the cool evening breezes were blowing, the man and his wife heard the Lord God walking about in the garden. So at this time, they can still see God, okay? But because before they ate of the fruit, but maybe because they ate the fruit, now they can't see God. Now that this is why we can't see God, and we don't know what he really looks like in person, even though it says he made us out of the image of himself. And his wife heard the Lord God walking about in the garden, so they hid from the Lord God among the trees. Then the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" He replied, "I heard you walking in the garden, so I hid. I was afraid because I was naked." Okay, by this time, God already knows, right? He sees everything. He knows everything. He's multidimensional. He was probably there when the snake was doing this. And who told you were naked? The Lord asked. Have you eaten from the tree whose fruit I commanded you not to eat? And the man replied, it was the woman throwing Eve under the bus. It was the woman you gave me who gave me the fruit and I ate it. Okay, Adam, now you're gonna throw Eve under the bus even though you ate it too. Then the Lord asked the woman, what have you done? What have you done? And what does Eve do? He throws the serpent under the bus. Go under the bus and let the bus run over you, you serpent. The serpent deceived me. That's why I ate it. Then the Lord God said to the serpent, because you've done this. Okay, he's not talking about, we're not talking about, is it Satan? Maybe, I don't know. But it's a serpent. I mean, he's like the shrewdest of all the animals, which means that he was the way he was. And I don't know, I haven't seen anything about Lucifer yet or Satan or whatever yet, not yet. He was mad. Then the Lord said to the serpent, because you've done this, you're cursed. More than all animals, domestic and wild. You will crawl on your belly. I guess the serpent did not crawl on the belly before. How is he moving around? Maybe he wasn't even a snake. Maybe it was those dragon things that have feet. This is how I understand. You will crawl on your belly. Yeah, now snakes crawl on their bellies, right? But before that, before he was cursed, how were they walking around? They had to have legs. Maybe it's like the little Geico lizard. I don't know. Whew. You will crawl on your belly. God was mad. Groveling in the dust as long as you live. And I will cause hostility between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He will strike your head and you will strike his heel. This is why I don't like snakes. And you will desire to control your husband, but he will rule over you. And to the man he said, since you listened to your wife and ate from the tree whose fruit I commanded you not to eat, the ground is cursed because of you. All your life you will struggle to scratch a living from it. It will grow horns and thistles for you. Though you will eat of its grains, by the sweat of your brow will you have food to eat, until you return to the ground from which you were made. You were made from dust, and dust you will return. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. There you go. Now it makes sense. Paradise lost. Then the man, Adam, named his wife Eve because she would be the mother of all who live. And the Lord God made clothing from animal skins for Adam and his wife. See, God was even being nice. He made animal skins for clothing. I don't know, if I was God, I'd be like, after all what I've done for you, this is what you do? Thanks that I get back? Then the Lord said, look, the human beings have become like us, knowing both good and evil. What if they reach out, take fruit from the tree of life and eat it? Then they will live forever. So the Lord God banished them from the Garden of Eden, and he sent Adam out to cultivate the ground from which he had been made. After sending them out, the Lord God stationed mighty cherubim to the east of the Garden of Eden, and he placed a flaming sword that flashed back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. Here we go again. So the other human beings, hinged from Adam and Eve. So all these other human beings that God created were under Adam and Eve, because Adam and Eve have the Spirit of God breathed into them. So now, because they did it, because Adam and Eve didn't have kids yet, it doesn't say that, Look, the human beings have become like us, knowing both good and evil. What if they reach out, take the fruit from the tree of life and eat it? Then they will live forever. He's not talking about Adam and Eve here, because Adam and Eve already ate of the tree of life. They're talking about the other human beings, that do not have the Spirit of God breathed into them. So he's talking about the human beings that they created in the beginning. This is how I understand it. If you guys don't agree with it, fine. You do you, but this is how I understand it. And he placed a flaming sword and flashed back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life, which means that he barricaded that tree. It's like, you're not gonna eat this, human beings. So the Lord God, let's listen again. Then the Lord said, look, the human beings have become like us, knowing both good and evil. What if they reach out and take fruit from the tree of life and eat it? Then they'll live forever. So the Lord God banished them from the Garden of Eden, sent Adam out to cultivate ground from which he had been made. After sending them out, the Lord stationed mighty cherubim to the east of the Garden of Eden, and he placed a flaming sword that flashed back and forth. Flaming sword, flashed back and forth to guard the way of the tree of life. So none of the human beings can eat of it, because if they do, they're gonna live forever. Forever. No, that's not how we were. That's not how we were created. We were created so we're gonna die, but because we have the Spirit will live on. But if you live forever, then the Spirit will never be able to escape the body. That because that's how we were created. This is how God has designed us to be. Okay, He breathed in physical, we're humans, we have flesh. He breathed in His spirit into us, but He didn't intend for the spirit to be trapped in that body forever, because He wants us to be pure spirit before we leave the earth. Okay, this is why He blocked the tree of life from all the other human beings, because if they did eat of that, they're going to live forever. Okay, they're gonna live forever. They're gonna be like us, He said. So the sword, flaming sword. That's it, guys. Genesis 3. So much to unpack. That was a lot to unpack. I know. Let's wait for Genesis 4 to move on. I want you to just masticate this, guys, on your own. I want you to just chew on it and see if you see the same thing I'm seeing, because my understanding is totally different from what the Catholic Church told me. They even said that Adam and Eve was a myth. They even told us that Adam and Eve was not real. It was like just a story in the Bible. Okay, and now I am just I can't unsee this. I can't unread it. I can't unknow it, because now I know for a fact that it's not, that this is how God created it. So therefore, please like and subscribe, and make sure that you come back for the next one. I don't know. I'm really having fun with this. I don't know when I get to Leviticus if I'm still gonna have fun, but it's gonna be a lot of like using our brains and using our common sense in this, and using also connecting the brain with the heart, because if these two are not connected, there's no way that you're ever going to understand what's going on in the Bible. So we need to really look inside of us and connect the two together, and make sure that we understand what we're reading and we understand the Bible. Let's forget about stigma about the Bible, and not really concentrating on saying, oh, I already know the Bible, I already read it before, and then lie about it. Let's not lie about that, okay? Because I was trying to avoid it as much as possible, because I felt like maybe I can't understand it. But now that I'm reading it at this age, I want people who are younger to understand this, because it's really very important. It's not something that we have to take lightly, because we know that eternity is a freaking long time, and it's nonstop. It's never gonna end. Eternity is like eternity. It's forever. It's like infinity, and beyond. Like there's no way to fight this. There's no fighting this, because the person that created us, it's undefeated. He's undefeated. It's not beatable. Okay. So if you think that, please don't be like obnoxious and say, oh, I don't need God, I can do things myself, I can fix my own problems, solve my own problems. Bull. I say bull. I call bull on that. Okay, so I say, make it your life goal to read the Bible chronologically, just like I'm doing. Please, if you do nothing else, just be here. And if you disagree, then you disagree, but just be here and open your hearts, because this is my intention, is what God asked me to do, and that's what I'm doing. And I feel like I have a lot of energy doing this. I love you guys, and I mean that in every way possible, because I am loved by God, and I know how it feels to be loved by Him and to be favored by Him. I'm not doing this for my own good. It's for this is my time that I offer to you guys, and I don't take it lightly, because I know that we need to be saved. We all need to be saved. I'm saved. I know I'm saved, but I'm still a human being. And because of Eve eating of that fruit of the tree of life, um, I'm still who I am in flesh. And there's really nothing I can do about that except for just do God's bidding. And I hope that you understand that this is what I've been put on this earth for. If nothing else, if I die in 365 days after I do all this, this is because that's what God has given me enough life to be able to fulfill what he brought me in this earth for. Thank you so much, guys. And I'm going to stop talking. Please read it yourself. Just read Genesis 3, 1 to 3. It's so amazing. Thank you so much. Bye. I'll see you later.